Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. I'm going to do a little quiet Sunday video here for you, looking at my own issue, Downcast 1. Why? Because Downcast number 2 should be coming out pretty soon. But I want to talk about a little open-ended concept, and that is, I think you boy Zach's the one that says it, but the high price for making comics. For the privilege of making comics, there's a high cost. And it's hard for me to put my finger on it, but let me try to express this in the best way that I can. So when I first started my YouTube channel, not first, honestly, I first started my YouTube channel and I started talking about politics exclusively. I wasn't talking about comics at all. And I did that because I wanted a place to express myself. I wanted to participate in the discussion that was happening in the world. So I did that. Then I found out about Richard Meyer, the lawsuit between Mark Waid versus Richard Meyer, the other way around. And I got pretty energized over that. And so I started exclusively talking about comic books because I love comic books. Always wanted to write comics and have tried to write comics and get the approval of publishers, seeking the approval of others so I can make comics. And it never really went well. So it really hit me hard that somebody would try and ruin somebody else's publishing contract. Somebody would try and interfere in somebody else's business. What I didn't know at the time is that the reason Mark Waid did that is because that's the norm for comics. It might not have been so cut and dry, so-and-so called this publisher to cancel this publishing contract, but I'm telling you that's how it works in comics. People are constantly trying to sabotage what you're doing. They use the internet, specifically Twitter, as a tool to get leverage over you, to scare you into compliance, like yada, yada, yada. And why? Why is it? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why the industry is the way that it is. Now, I'm not saying everywhere. There are a lot of great people. I've met so many great people in comics. I'm just saying that there is this little through line, and it doesn't take a lot of people to do it, but it's the same reason why, again, Mark Waid felt comfortable doing something like that, because it's really not that different. It's actually pretty par for the course. So that's why it was probably a surprise to him to get slapped with a lawsuit. Anyway, I digress. So when I first started talking about comic books and I started to see growth, I thought, wow, I'm sharing my opinion on political issues, social issues, cultural issues that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. I'm participating, and people are actually responding to it. Not in massive numbers, but enough that, hey, I can actually make that comic book I've been wanting to make. I think this is going to work. If I work hard, if I try to get the word out there and promote it, and do the best book I can. And so here we are now. We're 3-4 years. When did I start my YouTube channel? I don't know. We're years later. Here we are. And when I would explain to people my YouTube channel, my whole premise is I talk about politics very openly, and then I try to also talk about comic books and sell these things together. And everyone would scratch their head. Why would you do that? Because you're immediately going to alienate some population of readers by the sure virtue of the fact that you are taking a political position on anything. And that's true. It's kind of strange when you think about it. At the same time, though, none of this would have happened if I didn't have strong political points of view. And I'm not saying like politics in general in a broad sense. I'm saying social politics in comics. I think you know what I'm talking about. If I wasn't open about those things, then it wouldn't have mattered. I would have just been another comics channel. So I guess when people get upset or feel alienated because I have opinions or share opinions or thoughts or ideas on my YouTube channel, and they feel alienated, I mean, I'm sorry, it feels bad. At the same time, I wouldn't exist. This book is very, to me, it's symbolic to me of everything else that I've been able to create, thanks to backer support. And none of it would exist. I highly doubt any of it would exist if I wasn't open and tried to be honest about my perspective and my points of view on culture, comics, and all that jazz. So when I think about the high price to making comics, I actually think has more to do with the high price of having an opinion or not having the right opinion. If I agreed with everything that SJW said, maybe I would have some route forward. I doubt it. It's a lie. But you could think like, oh, maybe there would be a route way forward if you could just agree with everything. That's the temptation. It's just not true, though. So anyway, my point in all this is that wherever I belong in comics, I know that it's going to be by being open and honest about my thoughts and opinions and exploring ideas and trying to be very transparent about it, because that's what I've always done. None of this would exist if I didn't have that stance and that mindset. So for those of you that understand and appreciate that, for those of you that disagree with me from time to time or every single video, if you are watching my videos, if you are supporting my comics especially, I really appreciate you in having patience with me and understanding that this is what this channel is about. It's about being able to be honest and share that honesty on camera to the best of my ability. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this makes sense, but just some things on my mind. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.